We like to romanticize the artist, especially the one who bleeds for his art, the one whose suffering means something in the end. From pain, a production of beauty. I think Shostakovich is a prime example. There's an understandable confusion around his life and times, which breeds some speculation and romanticization. Although we have many personal accounts of the man, as he was a public figure, the circumstances make them ambiguous at best. The circumstances being Soviet Russia, Stalin's Russia. It's simple to see the duplicity one might obtain to secure safety in a country of few guarantees, to hide one's true thoughts, if those thoughts be in opposition to a cruel and despotic system, especially when one has a family to feed and protect. Thus, revisionist theories on Shostakovich's life are birthed easily enough. But do they hold any water, or are they simply too facile a hypothesis? Was Shostakovich an avid supporter of Soviet Russia, hidden opponent, or maybe just a survivor, as so many were? But is it really important what we think of him? In the end, he wrote music which made people happy, and more often, sad. In How Shostakovich Changed My Mind, Stephen Johnson relays an anecdote he heard multiple times while interviewing Shostakovich contemporaries. He writes, "I've been told more than once about a meeting Shostakovich had with one particular apparatchik. 'Comrade,' the official said, 'you've written a lot of pieces in the minor key. The minor key is sad. There's no place for sadness in our glorious socialist utopia. Write more pieces in the major.'" Stephen also writes of the obtuseness of some Soviet officials in not recognizing Shostakovich's intentions in his music. But musical interpretation is somewhat subjective. Take the Fifth Symphony, for example, which emphasizes the duality of interpretation. Hailed as a triumph of Soviet power, and yet still had the public weeping during the Largo section, where he lays bare his suffering and his people's suffering, the plight of the almighty we that pervades his music. Ultimately, I've come to realize how little it means to question Shostakovich's true self. In Johnson's words, to attempt to reach some real Shostakovich, to drag him out from behind his complex array of masks, misses the point. To sum up what the point should be, is Monastir Yukubov, the president of Russia's Dmitry Shostakovich Society. In an interview, he says, "The world surrounding us is so ambiguous, and in Shostakovich's music, like nowhere else, these ambiguities are expressed. The human consciousness can be split down the middle, or split into 3, 5, or 10 parts in any society. We tell our children one thing and quite another thing to our wives or husbands. As a citizen in the public eye, in a monstrous police state, Shostakovich would have felt the pressure to split to a sanity-threatening degree. Shostakovich expresses his problem, the contradictory nature of our existence, and that's why we need him so much." In the end, it's a celebration of the music which he created, and his masks, if indeed they did exist, were a necessity to him and his music. Johnson writes, "The prisoner is free for a few precious moments to roar and dance out his fury as he pleases. No one else can hear or see or hold him to account, not even himself. It was not just a way for him to express his dissidence, but to be free. This is highlighted immensely by his works, which portray unbearable sadness and suffering, screaming strings and long-drawn horn calls into the night. His orchestra was his purgation, his redemption, his art. And more recently, the record is becoming more and more in favor of this revisionist view of Shostakovich. The romanticized version seems more likely to have been the real deal. In letters written to close friends, he speaks of the immense guilt he feels in being a cog in Stalin's Russia. Indeed, some even say an excerpt from one of his pieces is dedicated to the death of Stalin. A happy march to the death of tyranny.